Hey, it's Aaron from AaronOnAutos.com, and today's review is brought to you by the Gary Sinise Foundation. Click the link below and donate. Hello, this is Aaron from AaronOnAutos.com, and today we're doing our shaky cam interior review inside a 2019 Toyota Camry Hybrid. So this is the really good selling hybrid model of the Camry. The Camry is, of course, the best-selling car in the U.S., but the hybrid, the uptake on the hybrid model is huge. It's over 20%. I don't remember the number offhand. If I do find it, I'll put it down here. But there's a pretty good reason for that. Big part of it is the fuel economy and the small price paid to grab that fuel economy. So let's just get started with the usual. Over here, windows, locks, and so on. Here's the window lock right here, and this adjusts the side mirrors. Pretty simple, basic right there. I believe I left the climate on. Better turn that off because we're probably getting noise. Over here, headlights. So that's the automatic headlights. Traction control, the camera view. So this has 360. You can change it around. Here's the rear hatch release. So it opens the trunk. This opens the fuel port in this car, which is on the left side, so it is on the driver's side. Down here's a hood release right there, my sexy leg, and this weird little container, this opening. A lot of Toyotas have this. I don't know what it's for. I mean, you could throw change, keys, or something in there, but it's really kind of, it's not big enough for a phone. It's an odd thing and an odd placement, but there you go. Somebody probably has a use for that. You can see my Tivas, because I'm in a hybrid, so I gotta wear sandals. Yeah, I'm full of jokes. And I'm sweating because it's really hot in this car. Wow. All right, I'll get back to it. Over here, this controls driver information screen. This controls, that's like the back button, so you do this, you hit OK. Here's the telephone. This is volume control, and here is voice control. Two things to note. One, this car does not have Android Auto. Two, Toyota's voice controls are pretty good. They're not great, they're not awesome, but they're not terrible. They are pretty good. So I'll just go with that. Over here is cruise control stuff. Down here is audio track jumping, and this chooses the audio mode. So you can use that. You can also change channels with this and change where the input is coming from. So which is, I guess, is what I just said, right? I just said that. The mode. Yeah. Anyway, so, you know, to go from like satellite radio to FM to etc. Over here, so cruise control is pretty straightforward. It is adaptive cruise, so this is what you use to adjust the distance. And then this is lane keeping. So this will, this does not have assist that I recall. I don't remember it working in here when I did have it on. I may have had it turned off. You know, the settings may not be at default. But I don't think this has lane keeping. I think it just has lane. It just tells you that you're getting out of the lane and beeps at you. I do remember it beeps at you because I always remember that because I find it highly annoying. Over here, washer wipers and so forth. So you pull it forward to wash the screen, and then you can move it up and down. And you can see what the settings are. Over here is your signal turns and also your headlamps. So you can see I have it on auto. You can move it to different ones, and then you can see the control for the brights right there. On that note, I will say really quickly that I did a quick video to show how to do the, how to adjust the lighting. So how to check your lights, your turn signals, and everything else without having to get out of the car. It's a really cool little video, quick and short, useful. Check it out. Now, back to it. This is the, if I can get a good, that's about as good as it's going to get. So I'll just have to pan a little bit. This is the instrument cluster, and then there is a head-up display that I will not attempt to photograph because I have never been able to get it to go on camera. But be aware there is a head-up display, and you adjust that through here on the driver information menus I'll show you in a minute. First, we'll go over here. So instead of a tachometer, this being a hybrid, you have this stuff. This is pretty ubiquitous throughout Toyota hybrids. They all look pretty much the same. So you're seeing if you're braking or slowing down, it does a charge right there. If you're driving well, using power but driving well, here's your eco meter. Over here is when you're really trying to go, trying to put the foot down and really make it happen, which kind of happens in this car, but not really. It is a Camry. There's your power meter there, and then you can see some of the emergency lights, and then down there is engine heat. Right now the engine shows cold because the engine is off. The car is on, but the engine is not. Hybrid. All right, over here. Here's your speedometer. Here's your Canucks per hour, or whatever. Yeah, kilometers per hour. Here's your Canucks per hour. Here's the fuel. You can see it's full because I just did some freeway testing, actually. So I did freeway and the usual loop. So I fill it, top it off. I do about a 22-mile loop, and then I go and I top it off again, and I do the calculations from there. That's all freeway, and then I do the same sort of thing in town for city mileage and top it off from there. So that's why it is still chuck full, even though I've had this car for almost a week. It's because I put off doing those until later, paid for it in gasoline. Not much though, because it's a hybrid. It wasn't a whole lot of gasoline. I don't remember the numbers, but it was only like 2 gallons, and I put a fair number of miles on this. So down here, you're seeing the kind of the default. I like to think of it as default because this is what I use the most. So this driver information screen is showing fuel economy in real time. It's also right up here got real-time miles per hour. And that's also on the head-up display, which is what I use more than I do this anyway. A head-up display is awesome. So we'll just flip through really quick. I want to show you a couple things. Right now we are in the vehicle settings, and you can go through and find some stuff. One of the ones that's important is this right here. Use this one. Just hold down the OK button to go into the menu. So I'll just do that. And here's how you adjust the head-up display. It's height. It really matters how tall you are. When I got in this car, a short person had brought it to me, and I could not see it at all. I had to adjust it down. So you'll need to move it up and down to match. I will say that in the models of this car that have seat memory, it also remembers the head-up position and moves it accordingly. Other than that, in the menus, if we back out, there are just a few other things to look at. I can't get all the way back out. Oh, that's because I'm in the main menu. So here's a lot of the things you can do as far as the settings. Then you can, I think we've seen all these. And, that's what you got. There's a few other things in here if you fool around, submenus and so forth, but that's what you got. Now, moving along, here's your push button start. Since it's a hybrid, it's blue. Actually, I think all of them are blue in Toyotas, but I like pointing out, Toyota likes to put blue on all their hybrid stuff, so they go blue. Okay, here is the infotainment. This is the upgrade. There is a lesser version. I don't know the difference. I believe it's a slightly smaller screen, and it doesn't have the new graphics, but that's really only going to be in the base model. You're going to see this, and as far as the hybrids go, you're going to see this in pretty much all of them except the very lowest option. Over here is your volume. Down here is tune and scroll. So instead of being on that side, it's just below it and smaller. So it actually gets really intuitive once you're using them. This is the home screen right here. So if you push home, this is what you end up with. Then you have your menu. If you want to just jump out of that and you want to go to like an icon style menu, that's what this is. Down here is the map. Over here, seek and track. Here's your go to phone settings, and here's the apps. I have a video that shows you how to hook up Bluetooth in this car. You'll use this button to start that. So look for that. The link will be down here. Over here is climate controls. Right now they're all off. Here's your defrost for the front, nice front and center. Here's for the back and the side mirrors at the same time. Then you can see it's duals, and you sync it like right there. Here's some more pretty self-explanatory buttons. This right here turns off the rear climate and turns it back on according, so when it's like that, the back is off. When it's like that, the back is on. And that's about all you got right there. I think everything else is pretty clear. Down here, if I can get to it, here is if I can get it open. These are a little flippy. I don't like the feel of them. They feel cheap. But here's your USBs. Here's a 12 volt right there. This comes equipped with key, I think it's about how it's pronounced. Wireless phone charging. You turn that on with this button right here. So when you turn it on, it's lit up. Turn it off, it's not lit up. And then this opens, and there's a space down here where you could throw something that you want to leave in the car. It's not a big space, but it's a good size. Right here is the shifter, and then you can see there are manual controls, so you can just pull it over and move it. Here's the drink holders, bigger than they look. I will give that credit because Toyota knows how to put usable drink holders in a vehicle. They don't skimp on that. So that's cool. This has the newer Toyota system that doesn't tend to break all the time. The one that used to have the clip in the middle, those were always breaking. Down here, you see we have bun warmers, no seat coolers, which is a bummer for me right now. I am sweating in this car. It's like 900 degrees in here because it's like 70 degrees outside or something, and it's 67 outside, and this car's been sitting in the sun. I moved it under the shade just for this video. Here's your drive modes. They change a little bit. So eco mode does really kill a lot of the capability of the car in terms of acceleration, things like that. Normal mode is probably what most people would think is just like the car should drive. It feels like a regular car. There's nothing special. You really don't feel not the adaptive. You don't really feel the regenerative braking kicking in or anything like that. It very smooths it out. Sport makes everything feel sportier. Not necessarily sportier, makes it feel that way. A little more throttle response and that sort of thing. This is your hill hold. Here's your EV mode. So when you want to force it into electric, if it has enough power, it will do that. And you can drive, through your apartment complex or wherever you are quietly. Here's your parking brake. Works like most American ones do. You pull it up to set it, push it down to release. Here is your center console. There's some more USBs in there. You can see what they are, and then you can see it's a pretty good sized box, actually. You can get a fair amount of stuff in there. And then I just want to look at this. This wood is beauty. This is a beautiful look. I really like the way this turns out, the kind of the flowy and stuff. This is the new generation Camry. It's been out for, 2 years? But very good looking. And then the seating in this has this beautiful, beautiful stitching and pleating. Really nicely done. I like the way this is. I don't like black on black on black, but they did try to break it up a little, and it does look good just because of the curvature of the dash and some of the changes going on. Back seat is the usual Camry back seat, except with this upgraded upholstery. Very, very pretty and very comfortable. Way more comfortable than it really should be, honest. And very well done. Good sized trunk. I'll show you that right now. Here's the trunk. Good sized trunk in this. The only difference between the Camry Hybrid and the regular Camry really is that this has a hybrid powertrain. Otherwise, they have the same trunk space. They have the same everything. There's just as roomy, just as everything. So what you gain with the hybrid, of course, is you pay a little more money and you get a much better fuel economy. Fuel economy numbers, I'll just run those across here because they do matter with this. I'll give you my numbers plus the EPA's numbers right there. So that's all I got. That is the 2019 Toyota Camry Hybrid. This has been Aaron from AaronOnAutos.com. Talk to you again soon.
Subscribe.